So, hi, I'm Samantha with Grounded Visions Wellness, and I'm a holistic wellness coach and hypnotherapist that uses different healing modalities to help people to discover more peace and empowerment in their lives. And today I'm here talking to someone who recently had an IEMT session with me that's integral eye movement therapy. And in this testimonial, I'll just be looking to find out more from her about her experience and how it's helped her to move forward in her life. So, let's get started. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
And so just tell me a little bit about what you came to IEMT looking to shift.
So I was very, very curious about trying to shift this money belief, this resistance to believing that I can be financially free. It's something that I've struggled with my whole entire life, and I've tried different things and just never really feel like I could detach from like the the severity of the charge of it, right? It just felt so real, and I couldn't, no matter what I tried to like see something different than that. That was the thing that was just like, nope, nope, that's all you get to see.
Yeah.
So I was very curious to see. I know about eye movement and how, and I, brain spotting and things like that. So I understand that moving the eyes in certain ways can kind of unlock certain things or give you access to certain channels in your mind. So I was like, okay, well, let me just try it for this because I've tried everything else, I feel like, and I haven't really done something like this about it. So
Yeah.
let's try this.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how this differed from the other modalities that you might have tried in the past.
I obviously like talk therapy, and I've done some somatic work on it, like understanding where my relationship with money comes from and how my body's holding on to that memory. And that was helpful just to understand that I have the choice to
Mhm.
create a different relationship with money, but it still didn't like give me the access to the belief that I was really looking for. I've also done tapping, which I do in my practice with my clients a lot. And I did it and I do it. And even then, I'm such a big believer in tapping, and I know it can rewire the brain and all that, but I still was like feeling like I had to rely on doing the tapping sequences every day for myself, for my body to like remember that, like, oh, this is the belief that we're going to believe now, right? Remember that. So it wasn't like landing and like settling as much as I wanted it to. um and then I've also done IFS, like parts work about
Mhm.
it. I did like a really in-depth session. It kind of was all over, but a lot of it surrounds the scarcity belief in my family and what I grew up with, believing that like we're never going to be okay because we're always going to be struggling. And so that was, I did a lot of therapy on that, and still again got to the point of like I can intellectually understand it, but I can't develop the relationship that I want. And
Mhm.
maybe part of it was me just saying that I couldn't, like, like telling myself that checking in with the fact that I feel like I still couldn't and saying that. But I felt like this, IEMT was it, and I could feel it like instantly in the session. I could feel the detachment. And I think I mentioned that, like, it felt like it was very far away now. Like it was still there, but it wasn't like in the next bedroom, right?
Mhm.
It was like in the next neighborhood, maybe.
Yeah. So what did you think of the process? Like, how was that like for you?
I thought it was actually really nice because it was so low energy. Like there was not a lot of things getting kicked up and stirred up. When I do therapy with my clients, sometimes I'm nervous of how that's going to come out in them, how they're going to release, what kind of state it's going to put them in. And I was thinking while you were doing this with me that this would be a really good way to deal with trauma and reprocess traumatic memories, because it felt really safe. And
Mhm.
even though you were telling me to focus on it and you were reminding me like of the traumatic thing, my body wasn't like, my brain couldn't really access the same thoughts that I would always access when I would get triggered by those things before. And I was also kind of in a place where I'm trying to do something different with it. So there was like this permission that I was giving myself, but still something about that eye, like it's, I know the strain of the eyes. For me, it feels like it's really like pulling, pulling, pulling. And for me, it felt like I pulled it and I popped it off, like
Yeah.
from the movement of my eyes.
Right.
If
So
that
there's
makes
almost like this release that
Yeah,
happened that you feel
yeah,
throughout the process. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about how things have shifted since that session.
Yeah, so pretty majorly actually within this, money belief because I'm doing this hard money job and it's all about like the whole reason I started it is because, is like financial freedom. Like this is the answer. This is the thing. And so, going through that like imposter syndrome in the beginning, feeling like I just couldn't and coupled with the whole money belief, it was like I was really just like striking myself out before I even went up to bat, felt like. And now I my I'm like working till 9:30 at night. My partner's like, "Are you still answering emails? Like, are you still doing this? Are you still working? Can you just like take a break from it?" But I feel so fired up about it. I'm so excited to be working on the things and no like even if I get an email that's like, "No, we can't fund this one." I've got a list that I've already reached out to like 11 to 15 other lenders. So I'm like, "Okay, I'll just jot that down. That's a note. Now I know like this lender, kind of like getting a whole like a list specified with what they can do and what they can't do. So I feel like none of my time is wasted right now. It's all for something. And even though I'm not closing on anything right now, just the belief that it's coming is so much easier to
Mm,
believe. Like even just saying that right now, I can feel it feels like a little
yeah.
cloud
Right.
just settling in my body that's just like yeah like all you if you keep resisting the idea then yes it keeps right resisting you so you just have to like let it go and this really helped me detach that charge that I was looking to detach. It felt like a storm cloud that kept following me and now it's like over there in the distance somewhere. It could come if I call it, but
Right.
the
Yeah.
point, right? So I feel like this I feel like a strong detachment from the like terror of
Mhm.
that.
Right. Yeah. I'm seeing you just lighter and how you're talking about it and everything as compared to when we were working together is like, oh, so that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
it would put me on the edge of like my voice would get shaky like just talking about it would make me want to cry because there was felt like there was so much shame and hopelessness attached to it, right? Every time I talked about it it just felt like oh my god, I've been here so many times before, like I've tried to do something about this so many times and now what?
Right.
Like, are you just
Yeah.
torturing yourself again?
Right. And
And
one session and it's
it's
shifted.
amazing,
Right.
amazing, amazing.
Amazing.
And
Um,
now I was able to understand too, because I do tapping, and one of the things I do in the tapping sequence is what they call the gamut series. It's like, oh, you hold this point and you do this whole thing with your eyes, and
mm,
you you rebalance both hemispheres of your brain because the memory can stay in the left side or the right side and kind of thing. And so you get them harmonized so that they can process the whole thing. And some clients, when I do that series with them, they have a really strong reaction. They have like a really big release, or they're like, gonna need to shake it off. And I felt like that
uh-huh.
when we were doing that. And I was like, oh, I understand what they're going through when they feel that and they feel that like, ugh, let go.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Shake it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you recommend this modality to others?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. As a therapist that doesn't do it, yeah.
Mhm.
Like I think it's very quick. For me, at least, it was very rapid results and easy to get through. I didn't have to go through this whole like recalling my old stories and finding out the meaning and da 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 da. It was just like detach the charge and to be in a place where you can now be curious about how you're going to develop a relationship with money without this charge telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Space
So I
between you and it.
definitely recommend this to people if they're even, long term or short term looking for rapid relief or just like wanting to process stuff that has been festering, right?
Right.
It's to me this the path of least resistance kind of thing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
This feels like one of those things.
Right. When you're ready,
Yeah.
it's available to you. So is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up?
No, but the only thing that I would, when you were explaining how it goes off the screen, And then like for me, I only knew to do it because I do it with my clients with the Gamut series, that if I were you, I would tell people to make sure that they understand that their eyes are like gonna feel the stretch,
Mm,
right? Because like I'll follow the white ball and it'll go to like right there. And then it's up to me to remember to like stretch my eyes. So
yeah.
just to like coach them in a way that tells them like you're gonna be kind of like stretching your eyeball muscles out. Like that's what
Right.
it feels
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. It's an exercise for your eyes.
Yeah.
Exercising your eyes. Yeah, definitely. I do offer it online and in person. And so I try to tell people when we're doing it, regardless either way, to go as far as you can without straining so that you can have that full exercise. Because the more give that range, the more benefit that you'll receive, really. So,
Yeah. That's what
but
I was
that's
noticing.
yeah, that's wonderful. So thank you so much for taking the time to share about your experience and about how you're growing and glowing. And I can just see it all now. So I really appreciate it. And
Thank you. I appreciate that.
thank you so much. Okay.
Yes.